Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of 13 Cards Subject to Change. Once again, I am Zach Bouchard, and with me today, as always, is Leroy Britton. Leroy, how are you?
Yeah, I know I'm doing pretty good. It's actually nice. I actually go outside for a little bit, Thank God.
Yeah, fantastic.
That'll change tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, well, it is weather in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wait 5 minutes, it's probably back to what it was 18 hours ago. Anyway,
Yep.
Well, once again, we are bringing to you live from Leroy's kitchen. Leroy, is there anything new in the kitchen today other than the vacuum cleaner?
Well, I don't know. Who's that guy sitting next to you?
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
That's the newest thing. Besides our lovely board there that I got.
We have a whiteboard now, so we're actually
Yes.
we're officially a whiteboard.
Yes.
So anyway, as we explained to you guys in our Zero session, you can go and check that out on our YouTube page. It's also currently on the podcasting system that we're using. We announced that this is going to be a big collaboration of a bunch of people, and we also said it's a fan-based podcast. For those of you who don't believe that we were going to bring on people who have an opinion, ladies and gentlemen, we have Phil with us today. Phil, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
So Phil is a buddy of ours that we met not even maybe 2 months ago, and all of a sudden we were like, hey, we got this show coming up. He was like, can I be a part of it? I'm like, of course you can. For those of you who don't know, on Saturdays we have production meetings, and Phil, tell us the story of why you weren't at the production meeting, because that's kind of a story.
Well, my best friend's birthday was yesterday, and we had a good time.
So anyway, Phil texted me and was like, dude, I seriously want to be a part of it and all this and that. I was like, okay, here's the deal. Why don't you just come be on the show tomorrow and just send some topics? And he was like, yes, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
I was just like, you don't really have to be at the meetings to be on the show. But anyway, Phil, why don't you give everybody a little bit of a background on your past wrestling history and all that. Also want to give a little disclaimer before.
And you know what, Zach? This does include and show that we do play well with other people. Even though some people might not think that,
people
we do.
That.
Well, yes.
So, and one more disclaimer for Phil there is, once again, ladies and gentlemen, he is officially a part of this whole idea. You're going to be seeing a lot more content from him coming. He'll be on the show, and he's working on his own YouTube series that's going to go on our YouTube channel here really soon, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Phil, why don't you go ahead and say hi to everybody and introduce yourself.
Hey, everyone. I am a huge fan of the podcast and working with these guys. This is honestly a dream come true. I've been a fan of professional wrestling since I was about 5 years old. I'm 33 now, so you can see that's a long time. I've been an enthusiast of this for a very long time. I love the WWE. Wasn't a huge WCW fan, not gonna lie. Like AEW a little bit. Not too familiar with the indies, but really love the sport and really excited about this opportunity.
Not to interrupt, but for those of you who are wondering what he means by AEW, that is known as Spot Monkey Wrestling.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
Here on 13 Cards, we refer to that as Spot Monkey Wrestling. So if you're wondering what AEW is, that is Spot Monkey Wrestling. Leroy, little thing for the fans here. What's on the? What do the cards have in store for us today?
All right. Well, we're gonna go back and hit a couple that we missed last week because we were having so much fun. Little Hall of Fame, talking about the dark side of the wrestling there, that good old show.
Dark Side of the Ring on Vice channel. And
I watch it on YouTube because I don't have cable. And then we're going to go into a little bit of Money in the Bank and on the matches and our thoughts on that.
Coming up next Sunday, I believe?
Yeah, a week from today.
A week from today. We will have that we will recap that the week after it. So about 14 days here, we'll have a recap for those of you who didn't get a chance to see it.
And before I go, we should do a shout out to the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
It was not his birthday today, but it was yesterday. A young 48, a couple years older than me, but The Rock, we love him. Happy birthday, Dwayne.
If that's considered a young 48, you are an old player.
Well, yes, I know.
You two do not look the same.
I don't know. I'm not as good looking as him.
Whatever shape he's in, you're in the shape they teach kindergartners. Anyway.
Yeah.
Round,
it's good.
So to start things off, WrestleMania weekend, obviously, as we previewed on the first show and the Zero session, was a little bit off because of the current crisis. We are still currently in quarantine, both in Minnesota and in Wisconsin. Leroy, you in Wisconsin, me in Minnesota.
Yes.
And of course, everyone knows the reasons why. Official statements from the governor of Wisconsin, because let's be honest, Wisconsin is much more of a shithole than Minnesota.
We got a lot of beer and cheese. I just moved here because rent's cheap.
Fair enough. Anyway, so the reason why the official statement as of this past Friday was we have officially declared that in Wisconsin there is hell, fire, and brimstone have been making appearances. And Leroy, just a quick thing: you have not officially sent this into the news, but you said you saw something.
I believe, and it was from a distance. I thought I saw Kane. I mean,
Really?
yes, Kane. Yes,
The big red machine,
Yeah,
all the
'cause
way in Wisconsin.
he was supposed to do a show this summer, but that might not work out. But
Due to hellfire and brimstone.
yes, of course, and
It's strange that the very thing he brings would have canceled the appearance.
I know it's nuts, but well,
It's
we'll
mostly-
try again another time. I guess I know. I don't know.
I mean, shout out to and our apologies to Knoxville County that we your mayor is causing such a problem in Wisconsin. We can't
Can't
go
believe
outside.
it.
I know. Maybe just be his mayor alone, and maybe that won't bring that here. But
My favorite part
Yeah.
about that is when he won the nomination, he walked on stage to his theme song. That was the best part.
Did
of
he
the whole-
really?
He did.
Yes, it
He
is.
did.
I did.
That
I
was the
watched
best-
it.
That's amazing.
That was
That
my
was
favorite
awesome.
part of the whole damn thing.
Really?
So anyway,
That's cool.
So anyway, we are going to jump right into the first topic. WrestleMania was obviously a bit different. One of the highlights for me of WrestleMania weekend is always, I think, the best part of it is the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people have some issues with that because it's not this actual building. Vince doesn't have like a hall for it or anything, but it is nice. See, here's my biggest thing.
Where do they go? Do they don't have a room full of busts of anything?
I'm sure Vince has something at like Titan Towers, but there's not like an official how the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in
Yeah,
Cleveland
like
has
a-
thing.
he probably has a bunch of pictures
Oh,
lined up, and
I'm
everybody
sure.
gets their ring, of course.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to jump into this with one of the nominees in the future, but even though it's not maybe this big thing that you can see or anything, it's just kind of in Vince's head. Anytime you sit around and you give praise to people who have, blazed a trail, I don't see the problem with taking one night and just sitting here and giving love to the people who were such a big part of the sport that we love.
And I'm going to say, and I'll say this, that me and Zach have met a Hall of Famer,
We have multiple.
the Godfather.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we
Yes,
have.
We have. I know. And we also met Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant
And-
Slaughter, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
We
Wow.
have.
So, yes,
We
I
have.
mean, we have rubbed elbows with a few Hall of Famers, which is incredible.
You
I
like-
mean,
Insane.
yes.
Well, and you left out Honky.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good old talk, huh?
I
I can't forget the great
so-
Intercontinental Champion there.
Oh,
So
don't-
anyway, Phil, quick thought there. What do you say to people that are just like, it's not a real thing, it's just in Vince's head?
Oh, I definitely disagree. It's definitely a real thing. You can't have a Hall of Fame and it not be real. Just because it doesn't have a place to reside doesn't mean it isn't real.
And the thing about it is Leroy and I have talked many times about the fact that in this age of social media and computers, even if it's just online, there's a lot of things that are just online that people follow 10,000 times a day.
Well, yeah, I thought that it was on the network because that's where I see the entire list of Hall of Famers is on the network. So to me, that is a place where they all are.
Yeah, well, all the ceremonies, I believe, are on there. That
They are, yeah,
record. So
yeah.
you can look back and,
And they're
look
in
at
their
them many
entirety,
years.
which
All right.
now I've heard they're actually sort of limiting speeches because obviously I think it was the year Lita went in. She went on for like an hour and a half or something. It was-
Did she really?
Oh my God, they had to.
Oh.
Oh my God, they had to like go out there and finally say we have to stop this.
So you get it cut off.
So anyway, this year's Hall of Fame, which I've heard from multiple reports, is going to happen at some point.
Also, they're going to have an actual induction.
Yes, it's been postponed. This year's inductees included the likes of the Animal Batista, the New World Order, Hogan, Hall, and Nash,
and Sean Walton.
and sh-
I,
and
Waltman.
just because
And
I
Sean
think it's
Waltman
Triple
is in
H's
there.
buddy, that's
Yeah.
why he's probably in there. But hey,
Sean's one of those guys where it's like I don't think he ever gets enough credit for the fact that he just worked. He was a
Well, yes.
He was
wordsmith.
great.
Also,
Underrated.
now we get to some interesting inductees. Some people might be questioning. We have JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, and the Bella Twins. We'll have thoughts on that here in a second. But two inductions that I'm like, oh my God, it finally happened. Number one,
Yes.
the British Bulldog is
Did
finally
not know
going
that
in.
until right now.
And-
Extremely happy about that
And
one.
then, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore of lightweights, Jushin Thunder Liger is going to be inducted shortly after his retirement from New Japan Pro Wrestling. The man, I don't think people realize, was in his 50s wrestling in New Japan
Really?
and still doing a lot of what he was doing.
I did not know
I
he was
didn't
that old
either.
either. Oh my God! Yeah.
okay.
You told me he's one of your favorites, right, Zach?
It's Jushin Thunder Liger. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Leroy, I'm going to look up the age here. Why don't we get your thoughts on the list? Phil, you go ahead and jump in with them while I get the name here.
All right. Well, I mean, New World Order. With the three alone, they started, the Monday Night Wars in between. Hogan going heel growing up and seeing him, I'm the real American, and just
To me, that
stoked
was the only
about that.
time
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan was even cool. Was when he first joined the NWO.
Oh.
I was born in '87, and he was so lame to me by the time I was into wrestling. When I seen him join
Oh, jeez,
the
I take offense to that, man. Oh, come on.
I know.
You know what?
My
Phil,
grown-up hero.
Phil, next week, if I can find, I'm going to bring you Eric Bischoff's book, and I want you to read that in your spare time because there's some interesting stuff in there about when the NWO was started and how Hogan was very nervous.
Yeah, he was against it. I heard he told
Very,
Ted.
Well, yeah,
so
I mean,
against it.
to understand, and I understand from her point. So many years of growing up, I'm used to seeing Hogan, good guy, eat your, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and all that. It was like boom, and then he's a bad guy. It's like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And it blew up huge.
Yeah,
I mean, it's great.
He was scared.
You were born when, Phil? Sorry?
87.
87. Okay, I just want to point something out for the viewers. Jushin Thunder Liger's debut was in 1984. He is 55 years old as of his retirement
I
last
literally
year.
thought when I seen him in WCW, I thought that was his debut.
He retired January 5th, 2020.
Really? Oh, that's my birthday.
His
That's
official
literally a few months ago.
exactly.
Yeah.
His first official match was in 1984. And
Wow.
he
He wrestled longer than I've
I was
been
like-
alive.
Yes,
I was
he
like
has.
9.
Yes, he did.
I was.
Lord.
I just
I
want
was-
to point something out. So I know we all can't necessarily use Wikipedia
9.
as an actual news source, but let's be honest here, it's fairly accurate these days. Okay, so I just want to read a little excerpt here. Wrestled 4,000 different matches for companies all over the globe. 4,000 times this man was in there. He was the longest tenured member of the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster, and you think about how long guys stick on that roster.
Man.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so obviously New World Order we just touched on there. Batista, look, here's my take here. The guy was a 6+ time world champion in the biggest wrestling company in the world. He was a genetic freak. Steroids aside, we're not going to delve into that.
If he did, he did. Well.
I'm not going to throw shade at somebody for that. But it's just, look, here's the deal. Here's my thoughts on the Hall of Fame in general. This is professional wrestling. Baseball, you get in if you get 3,000 hits, you're a guarantee. Basketball, if you can get top 10,
Everybody gets into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
if you
No,
can,
not everybody, but yeah, pretty
if you
much.
can get top 10 in any stat in the Basketball Hall of Fame, you're in the Hall of Fame. That's just the way
If
it
you can
works.
get top 50 in any stat in basketball, you're in the Hall of Fame.
This
I
is
feel like.
professional wrestling. I know Aaron Bowles, who we'll have on the show here a little later on another episode. He still sits here wondering how the heck is Coco Beware in there. But I want to make this very clear.
Coco's a legend.
This is professional
Frankie.
wrestling. This
Gotta have the bird.
there you go. This sport is based on as much moments as it is actual accomplishments. I don't necessarily care. First of all, Batista had moments, in my opinion, beating Triple H at WrestleMania.
Great moments.
It's just shocking. Even though you kind of knew it was going to happen, it's just the way the pop and circumstance was around that.
I honestly feel like he's
Oh, yeah,
underappreciated because he was a part of Evolution.
So yeah. So
Well, I think that helped. I mean,
It helped him a
I
lot,
helped him
but
a-
I think he's always compared to Randy and Triple H.
Oh yeah, of course. I did like him when he first premiered, and he was with Devon, brother Devon.
I thought he was a weird.
and he was
man.
his henchman. It was
personally-
kind of
I
fun.
personally don't think WWE knew what to do when they broke up the Dudleys. I just
That was a
probably
bad
not,
idea.
yeah.
I know Vince was trying to shake things up, but it's just the thing about it was that I don't think they knew where to go.
Right.
Sadly, because in the Ruthless Aggression era, the world didn't have its panties in a bunch. Bully Ray, I think, would have worked back in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh god, yeah, it would have been
Loved him.
great.
It's
Loved it.
so sad that he developed that so late.
Late.
But anyway, here's my thing. Batista's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anyone says.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
The guy tagged. If you're a tag team champion with
Ric Flair?
you-
Come on,
that's just
man.
ridiculous. New World Order. I'm sorry if I have to say anything as to why they need to be in the Hall of Fame. Get off this podcast.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
know wrestling.
All right, let's go.
Hold on. Before we get to the so-so candidates,
Well, yeah.
British Bulldog. Finally,
Way too late.
I
Should have happened years ago.
Years
I mean,
ago.
But this is going back to my point about just celebrating them. I don't want people to go on Twitter or whatever and harp about how long it took. Can we just enjoy the fact that one of the most pure stars in that ring
Man.
is finally going to get a at least 20 minutes to the world to realize this man was as great as he was. That's,
Him and Bret Hart and Wembley is
I know.
such a great match.
It'll be fun to see.
that's on your
if-
list of matches that you show people who don't know wrestling.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
just
that's
have
true.
to.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. You.
But I mean, who's gonna? If they do the induction, I'm like, who's gonna induct him? I mean, who can?
Ooh.
I mean,
Maybe his
Natalie
son?
could.
Brett's kind of on
Brett
Vince's
could.
list after
After
the whole
the Dark
pay-per-view.
Side?
No, not
Well,
even Dark Side.
at the Spot Monkey Wrestling.
Spot
that
Monkey
moment.
Wrestling first pay-per-view.
He showed up on
Bret
there.
Hart showed up and delivered the AEW World Title, and needless to say, that was.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was kind of
so
a
that's
shock.
the
I'm like,
thing.
what is he doing? I'm like, well,
Brett.
he's getting
He's
paid.
a rebel, man.
He got paid, so
To
whatever.
to be fair, Brett's. I know we're a little off topic, but we're still in the Hall of Fame. Brett's Hall of Fame speech. Brett even said I wasn't the easiest guy to work with. So
I watched the Stone Cold sessions. He said the same thing there too.
Yeah.
So okay. So again, British Bulldog, kind of from way back. I'm not going to harp on you. NWO, again, if you don't know it, get off the damn podcast. But British Bulldog, if you want to go back and discover it, please do. It's matches
yes.
were just so good.
Oh,
He's
man.
in that Owen Hart category of
Underrated.
he could look at you and say, I'm going to go out there and literally just put a turd in the middle of the ring, and he'll still out wrestle you.
And and the best part of watching him too is like when he was tag team with Dynamite Kid, he had the Bulldog Matilda. I mean,
yeah.
she
They
really
were the
liked
British
to.
Bulldogs. That was the name of the team, wasn't
Oh
it?
yeah,
British
no,
Bulldogs.
and they had the little bold Matilda, and she liked to go after everybody. And I think she really wanted to take a bite out of Bobby Heenan's butt. I think a few times.
A few people want to take a bite of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but
the
hey,
good old brain.
I love the brain. God rest his soul.
okay,
We love you, man.
Okay, I was debating moving on to the people that were questioning, but okay, I just want to take a few minutes here. We mentioned him earlier, 4,000 matches, born in 1964. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know who Jushin Thunder Liger is, Jushin Thunder Liger is one of the original
Google him.
light heavyweight guys who, in my opinion, deserves to be considered in GOAT category, because here's the deal. You don't wrestle that long at that high of a level. New Japan Pro Wrestling is
And do the things that he does as well.
Oh yes.
Jushin Thunder Liger is a guy who has been just a character in Japan. They've made animes and comic books about this guy over there. I mean,
Really?
he is a living. He's not just a wrestling legend. He is a Japanese legend. For God's sakes, they put Kenny Omega in the Bullet Club in anime. You don't think they put Jushin Thunder Liger in the anime?
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, guys. Seriously, I don't care if it's the WWE Hall of Fame. Vince is going to give some love, and the world of America, America is its own little world. And let's be honest,
Very much.
every
Yes,
country
we are.
is.
Very much so.
Pew pew. Anyway, you know what? Again, going back to what I said about the Bulldog, if you want to give 20 minutes to a man who, in my opinion, should never stop being revered, give it to Jushin Thunder Liger. I mean,
I agree.
And to be
Totally.
honest, guys
Totally.
like Sabu have kind of told Vince to go F himself. He wants to be more in the Cauliflower Alley Club, Hall of Fame type of deal. Yeah. Jushin Thunder Liger, I read an article, pardon me. I read an article, Fire and Brimstone's got me all stuffed up.
Yeah, it
crazy.
does. It gets that long.
Yeah,
So.
no, it's crazy. Anyway, no, here's my thing. Jushin Thunder Liger was asked about it, and he was actually excited. He wants to do it. He wants to be a part of it. He's just excited to see the fans.
Wow.
He's not the best in English, so he didn't know how he was going to do his speech. Maybe his children could read his speech or translate it for him.
Okay.
Because not the best English there. For anyone who wants to, his match in WWE versus Tyler Breeze down in NXT. Tyler Breeze, great worker, trained by Shawn Michaels.
Is that in the Cruiserweight Classic?
No.
Okay.
No. That was actually
On NXT?
that was an NXT takeover.
Okay.
Tyler
okay.
Breeze was looking for an opponent, and William Regal came out and said, I scoured the earth for it. And I remember when it got announced, I'm like, Tyler Breeze is the perfect guy because he's like Shawn Michaels. He's trained by him. He's a worker. He knows how to work. He knows how to make people look good. He knows how to make the match work. And Jushin Thunder Liger is just freaking Jushin Thunder Liger.
Come on.
So
Oh
it's
yeah.
just-
Oh yeah.
So again, anyone out there who's wondering why he's in WWE Hall of Fame, just, you know what? There's so many guys in there who barely ever wrestled in WWE. Maybe had one night, but again, we're giving love to these guys where, again, in this sport, it's about moment. For God's sakes, I'm on Wikipedia here, which again, it makes sense. Okay, championships and accomplishments. I'm just going down here to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title 11 times. 11
Damn.
times.
Damn.
Hey, come on. The guy is
good.
something.
He's also a 6-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. He did it with 6 different partners.
So 6 times, 6 different partners.
6 times, 6 different partners.
Wow.
He was also.
Damn, that's good. That's good.
Here's a throwback. If anybody remembers this title, you'll remember the company, but the title. He's a former NWA World Welterweight Champion.
Wow.
That's how far back his career goes.
That's going back to my beginning years of watching wrestling. There, woof.
And a former WWF Light Heavyweight Champion, actually.
That's really where I remember him from, was the light heavyweight division. He was the only guy that was close to great. Like, Taka Michinoku was supposed to be the guy.
Well, they
remember
didn't,
that?
and they didn't have that title for that long. I mean, it wasn't even on that long, you know.
Maybe a year.
Also, he appeared in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 500 singles wrestlers 3 times, never ranked lower than 47.
Damn.
His highest ranking was number 8. And, okay, I'm going to point something out. We talked about his debut was when?
1984.
Okay,
84.
okay, hold on. His highest ranking, number 8, it was in 2000.
Good Lord.
What?
16 years.
It took that long?
That's what his highest ranking was.
That was his highest ranking. I'm not sure how long the PWI top 500's been out, but all I'm saying is that
That's good.
when you've been in the business for 16 years and you are in the top
in the
10,
world, yeah.
God damn it. Anyway, so now we're moving on to a section that I really want to get these guys' take on this.
Well,
JBL,
let's do JBL first.
JBL and the Bella Twins. We'll start with JBL. Deserving or not? Phil, we'll start with you.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes because during the time where, to me, wrestling was tailing off after the Attitude Era, he was one of the guys that was believable in their role. Extremely believable. He was a heel, and you knew he was a heel.
That first promo was just ridiculous.
Oh, yes.
Him holding his book, him talking about finance. But then again, I think you finally saw the person. I think you I think you got to know John Layfield.
Exactly. Not Bradshaw.
Not Bradshaw. Right. You got to know John Layfield.
And I think, going back to, Bradshaw, I mean, he was good with Farouk. You know. I loved him. But yeah, when he became JBL, and I knew about his.
If you need a pick me up in life, if you need motivation, go watch JBL induct Ron Simmons.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. And we talked about Ron Simmons before the show, but that honestly that makes me emotional watching.
And the man deserves to be in the Hall of Fame just
off that speech alone.
Here's the deal. Okay,
no.
For those of you who don't know, Phil is of African American descent.
I'm a black man.
Okay, I want to point something out. We all know the struggles that especially black athletes have had coming up in this business. Ron Simmons, first African American heavyweight champion.
I remember watching that.
I want to point something out. JBL's line. And funny story, I actually watched the movie 42 after I watched the induction. So, but anyway, his line, to be great and to break through barriers, you don't have to be good or great. You have to be better than those who put them up. And by the way, Bobby freaking Bowden,
legend coach
for college football. He was asked before I think it was the Orange Bowl, what do you have to do to win? They said you have to stop Ron Simmons. And they did it. Because Ron Simmons could have played in the NFL. He was drafted in the NFL.
Yes, he was, yeah.
So, but anyway, so just, okay, look. I remember JBL's interview segment that was on WWE Network. And he had Ron Simmons on there. And I remember him tying into the Hall of Fame, JBL. If you want to know what they thought of, or what the former creative director of WWE thought about us, well, I can tell you what he thought. He went down to WCW and killed the company.
That's true.
Vinny Russo made them into an interracial tag team, and he wanted to make a big deal out of it. And Ron Simmons was like, First of all, we're friends.
Exactly.
That's why we're a team. And by the way, best line I've ever heard in wrestling was when JBL went to Ron Simmons about starting the APA, not on camera but off camera, and Ron Simmons was like, "Wait a minute, you're telling me they're going to pay us to sit on TV, play cards, and drink beer?" Hell yeah, man!
I know. I was like, "Don't we do that already?" It's like, yeah, it's not that hard.
Leroy, on JBL.
JBL, I mean, yeah, he was great. I mean, when he came in Bradshaw, and I knew how smart he was with finance everything, and I did like how they brought that in. I was like, wow, it worked. I mean, he had great runs as the title. He had some great feuds, with the one with the great. Which one?
That WWE title reign had everything you could have ever wanted.
Great reign.
Oh yeah,
a year long. Amazing
rivalries, great matches. It pissed you off, but he was a heel.
He wouldn't stop winning.
That's true.
My favorite part was actually the end, and here's why. Because I was sitting in my room in Arizona. Actually, I was on vacation with my parents the night after he finally lost, and I remember thinking to myself, what if he was so arrogant that he didn't have a rematch clause in his contract? And then Teddy Long comes out and says, "You don't have a rematch clause." And I'm like, did I just write wrestling here? Like, goddamn.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry.
I mean, the one run and rivalry that he had that I enjoyed the most was with the late great Eddie Guerrero.
Amazing.
Him as back and forth when he comes out and he's limousine and his tires are gone. Oh my God! I mean, it was stereotyping, like whatever, but it was so
but here's the thing,
good.
Here's the thing. Okay, and Phil, this is kind of towards you as a minority. Is it stereotyping if that's who the person is? Because that was Eddie Guerrero. I mean,
Eddie made the stereotype. He made Light Cheat Steel.
Eddie Guerrero was a low-riding type of dude who loved being of Mexican descent. That's who Eddie was.
You're damn right he did.
Yeah. Oh.
But again, I want to point that out because, Leroy, tying into what you said, JBL knowing financing, wrestling works when two things happen. A, you can get real, and the fans just accept it because I think nowadays fans don't like real because like they get pissed off and offended by everything.
I would say they go home and suck on their mommy's nipple if they're getting offended by that crap. God.
And then number two, if you believe in it, and JBL believed in John Bradshaw Layfield.
Damn right he did.
He had the cabinet. The only time the Bashams were relevant.
Orlando Jordan. Right. Good Lord.
That's all he had right there.
Orlando Jordan was more relevant for 24 seconds. If you don't know what that is, look that up.
Man.
For 24 seconds was the most relevant thing he was until he got the JBL.
Yep.
That might have been after JBL, but still.
It doesn't matter.
Outside of Chief of Staff, the most relevant thing Orlando Jordan did in professional wrestling was 24 seconds. Good God. And anyway, I have a quick thing to say. Again, JBL, in my opinion, is more... Not so much total accomplishments, although he did win the hardcore title 18 times.
18?
I believe it was 18 times.
Up there with Hardcore Holly or something.
Yeah, he's running quite a fit.
The record, I believe, is... No, the record is actually, I think, Stevie Richards.
Oh, wow.
Stevie held
He was a crazy son of a...
Stevie Richards...
With the Stevie kick.
Yes.
1 second. Okay, Stevie Richards, professional wrestler. I'm going to look this up. All right, don't quote me. But the last time I looked this up, I think he was a 21-time hardcore champion.
I did not know that.
Stevie Richards in WWE. First of all, he wrestled everywhere, Mike.
Oh yeah, he was ECW.
Oh,
he
was
Stevie
everywhere.
Richards was top 66 in the top 500 for the PWI top 500 in 1997.
Beyond surprising.
Yep. The only title he won in the WWF/WWE was the WWE Hardcore Championship 21 times.
Wow.
I'm actually gonna look up Crash Holly because I think people think Crash Holly's got more.
I always thought he's who I really associate. Him and Mick Foley are the guys I really associate the hardcore title with.
Well, yeah.
I've got it right here, Leroy.
You got it?
Let's see. Crash Holly in WWE. He was the hard. Oh no, hold on. I apologize. He was the hardcore champion 22 times.
Oh wow! Look at that.
My goodness, Crash Holly.
I knew he lost it in one of the funniest one. I think he was sleeping in jail and he lost it to Briscoe.
Who was the guy? I don't think it was the hardcore championship. We'll get to that later. Anyway, so my thoughts on JBL. It's more the fact that he has longevity, but he created moments and he was a consistent player. I know a lot of people out there are going to say, "Oh, he's Vince's guy," dude.
Everybody's Vince's guy.
Dude, the guy's been there for over 2 flipping decades. And by the way, like I said on a past podcast, you go to YouTube and look up the 3 parts of JBL and Michael Cole commentating the Brothers of Destruction versus MVP and Mr. Kenny. It is the funniest damn segment I've ever heard.
He's great as a commentator.
His lines during that match, some of the highlights were literally when they had to keep restarting the match because they kept getting disqualified or counted out. I think the second time that Teddy Long said it's now no disqualifications and no count out, I remember the very thing that was said was, that's like sending in Tina Fey, or whoever it was, that's like sending the princess back to King Kong. You don't do that. It's like putting King Kong and Godzilla together as a tag team. And then as MVP's getting like beat up, JBL's the best line is like number one, the Brothers of Destruction, when they tag, they carry people out like cordwood. It's
that's good.
And then
that's good.
And
that's
then
about right. Yes,
that's good.
And then I remember so MVP gets uppercutted. He's on the ground. He goes to tag Kennedy, and all of a sudden you just hear JBL go, "It's like being a bird in the air while the earth is burning. You got nowhere to land."
That's good. That's very good.
Right.
The funniest line though was so subtle. Was like, they knocked them both out of the ring. They both ran away, and JBL just goes, "Undertaker and Kane are doing exactly what they do best, standing in the ring by themselves."
This dude.
It's so
yeah.
good. So, but it's just, you can hate on the guy. You can think he was a bully. First of all, it's been reported that Mauro Ranallo did not leave WWE for a time period because of JBL's bullying on camera. It was because he had a depression issue, and the travel did not help that. Again, we'll discuss the work schedule a little later in the podcast.
I think the
If we get to
JBL
that, yeah.
bully thing is kind of overblown from Vince Russo in this brawl for all thing too. I think that really puts it in.
We'll actually tie in a card right there. Dark Side of the Ring is now live on Vice. We'll be getting to a few of those actual shows down the line. We'll discuss that here in a second. But no, so JBL, the one that everyone's questioning, probably in my opinion you're questioning because it's too early, is the Bella Twins.
Yeah.
Let me make this very clear, and I'm going to use Beth Phoenix as an example, and Tori Wilson, and Kelly Kelly. These are women that the world was not ready for Sasha versus Bayley. I'm sorry, Vince.
No,
Vince
not
is
at
one
that
of those
time.
guys. He saw his audience. They wanted hot chicks. They wanted the Attitude Era type bikini contest. Love women's rights, whatever. I don't care about women's rights right now. This is what the audience wanted. The audience is mostly male. This is my comic book argument to why people feminists get mad about how Wonder Woman looks. Are you buying the damn comic book? No, it's some dude in his mom's basement.
And
Okay.
trust me, I very much enjoyed the other publications that they were featured in. That I don't know if I want to talk about that, but
Leroy?
Maybe.
Leroy, how many times have I told you? Use the washroom before the show.
hey, I did, but I'm all right.
Obviously not for the right reason.
All right,
Anyway, here's the deal. Okay, so why I bring up those women before the Bellas. These women deserve to be praised because they were sticking it out when women got 15 goddamn seconds.
Man.
Not 15-minute matches. They were,
that's it.
for God's sakes, Heath Slater, wherever he is now, Heath Slater was getting beaten up by Brock Lesnar for longer than some of Beth Phoenix's best matches were.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Here's the thing. To me, divas, women, their Hall of Fame is like wide receivers in the NFL. It's such a log jam because there's so many of them that were good at what they did. And the thing about it is that they were there for so long. They were through so many different types of eras with the many eras we were going through. They were consistent workers. Brie was actually, I think, better in the ring than people gave her credit for.
A lot.
Before Daniel, she was better in the ring than people gave her credit for.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, I mean, when they had the gimmick when they first were coming in, I thought it was kind of neat. They bring out one, it's like, wait a minute, there's another one.
That
And then they switch.
Yep.
I mean, it was a good thing to do until
And
they
Nikki
found
Bella,
him out.
forget who she was dating. She made you hate her.
Yes,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
great
a
heel.
heel is.
Oh yeah.
Her turning on Brie, amazing.
Oh yeah.
Stephanie kind of killed it. I don't know why Stephanie had to be a part of that.
I
Stephanie turned
agree.
me off
Someone
that.
else would have made it better, but I loved the turn.
I don't think I don't think that someone else would have made it better. I like that Stephanie was using corporate power to make her do it, but I don't think
Yeah.
Stephanie had to physically get involved.
No, she did.
That's what I mean from a match standpoint. It would have been better with someone else.
Fair. So anyway, Leroy, Phil, a couple of seconds. The Bella Twins, yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down on Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We'll do thumbs up, thumbs down because of Batista.
Okay, I'm going to give them a thumbs up. And like you said, they were there when women were getting 15 seconds, but they stood out.
You did 7 hours of makeup for a 15-second beat.
Just come on, like,
the only thing I have to say about
Seamstresses should be in the Hall of Fame.
Come
They just
on.
got
I
that.
know I'm not a big fan of them getting right now. You can say, yeah, I kind of do my thumbs down, just because honestly, I feel that was the only female wrestlers that they could think of right now that would be kind of worthy to go in.
Well,
I think that's about it.
Well, and I think we've learned. Edge got in shortly after retiring. They
Did
obviously Edge went in the very Hall of Fame after he officially retired.
wow, okay.
The very next Hall of Fame.
They do love doing that.
Eddie,
too,
yes,
so.
it was posthumously, but Eddie
Yeah.
was put in. There's no limit on when you can go into the Hall
Yeah.
of Fame. There's no waiting list type of thing. Again, Jushin Thunder Liger, and every time I mention it, Phil's eyes get wide because he's like, God damn, this dude's old.
Man.
He retired in January for crying out loud. He's already in the Hall of Fame.
And I said January 5th.
January
My
5th,
birthday.
yeah,
This
exactly.
year.
My birthday.
That's
my birthday, and
So-
he retired on my birthday. I don't know. Two great things. Might be being born in that retirement. I don't know.
People, just look. Whether or not you think someone's worthy or not, they gave their heart and soul to something. They worked their ass off to get where they were.
And I honestly think they were good workers. I think that they were part of the reason that these women today are able to have
you
these type of
weren't
things.
supposed to like them for
No.
a large portion of what they did. So wrestling fans, you might not have liked them. Sadly, this is wrestling. There's this thing called heels and baby faces. If you hate them, that's a good thing.
I just like looking at them.
Especially nowadays when you have companies like Spot Monkey Wrestling that they're like everyone's kind of in on it and they show it too much. And I'll go into that rant later. But the thing about it is that no one knows who's a heel and a babyface anymore.
No ranting on this episode. Okay, we got that figured out.
So anyway, to transition into something that came up earlier, Dark Side of the Ring, which is a new show on Vice, is now a thing that's delving into sort of the dark days of wrestling. Mind you, this thing could have 18 different seasons because there's so many issues with wrestling.
I think it's on there. It's the second season.
They're on season 2, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. They are on YouTube, so if
you
don't have that, you can watch them on YouTube.
I'm going to make a quick statement here, because we're definitely going to delve into some of the episodes later on in different shows. For those of you who don't know, if you're in wrestling, you know this story. I will stay out of this. Maybe we'll have Phil on for that episode, other people on for that episode. I am going to remove myself from the Chris Benoit episodes because I believe what I believe on that, and I'm just going to say it right here. If you look it up, it is a proven fact. Chris Benoit was given a dosage that was very large from a steroid that was prescribed for him for a testicular issue from a doctor, and the doctor did go to jail for giving the wrong dosage. He was charged and was found guilty of giving Chris Benoit the wrong dose. I am not sitting here defending a murderer, but I have my thoughts of what happened that night. Well, like Chris Jericho said, we may never know what's going to happen. I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to say Kevin Sullivan did it. I'm not going to go into that crazy thing. But I have my beliefs on how a human being should be remembered, and I'm going to stick to that. If you have a problem with that, you're welcome on the show to talk to me about it. You can comment about it. I don't care. But I will remove myself from that episode because I refuse to talk about it because I feel my way about it. And here's the deal. It's been how many years since the tragedy? You're never going to reconvince me because I was convinced 48 hours after I found out about everything, and I'm convinced about it now that this is how I feel. I don't care. I am not defending a murderer. I am just saying I do not think he is the cold, heartless bastard monster that he has been made out to be by this show and others. Anyway.
No. Oh, yeah. I would never put him in that way.
Yeah. Now, see, I would want to be on that episode because I feel like I'm aligned with Zach on this. I wouldn't be defending a murderer, but I would talk about what I believe to be true.
Oh, yeah. Our opinions are about the same on that. I mean, that's how it feels.
So, yeah, we'll be previewing Brawl for All, Bruiser Brody, stuff like that coming up here a little bit later. Anyway, so moving on to a little segment that we're going to start getting into here in the thing is this is called Mini Moments of Merch. For those of you who know about our YouTube channel, we have a Moments of Merch that is the larger version of it where we actually show off merchandise we've gotten from wrestlers. More episodes to come, not just on opening boxes from Darren Corbin and other people, but also the fact that I have way too many wrestling shirts and I have no room for them anymore. Mini Moments of Merch once again highlights a friend of the show, not of Leroy, but of the show, Mr. Darren Corbin, local Minnesota guy. Leroy?
I'm going to say, that was kind of a low blow there, but hey.
Of course.
If you know that joke, it's a great inside joke there.
Interview to be up on YouTube with that.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, on Moments of Merch, so Darren, as we've said, has a Patreon account, which is where you can go and subscribe to stuff that he does that is not, I would say, YouTube friendly. It's a little more free form. Patreon's the non-family friendly version of YouTube. I would say you can be a little more free with what you say.
And he doesn't, it's not him, it's him. It's not the wrestler, it's him, and he goes into that. And I enjoy it. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Every 10 Patreons, which you can join a Patreon for him for $1 a month is the lowest tier.
Yeah, $1.
Leroy and I are both members of the $5 tier. We get special stuff every month based on that.
Yep.
So anyway, he got to, I believe it was 30 Patreons, and he did a drawing. And shortly after I had ordered my Corbin crate, again, the episode is on YouTube of me opening my Corbin crate, he sent me my gift box, which he included.
Drew your name out of the hat.
Yes, he drew my name out of a hat, which is kind of funny because he messaged me while I was at an NXT event, and I'm like, well,
wow.
Anyway. I received 4 things from this. It was kind of hard due to the Hellfire and Brimstone. It was kind of hard for mail to get through because
Yeah.
So anyway, so it took a while to get here, but Darren gifted me with a $10 Amazon gift card, which is the most surprising thing to me because, my God, I love Amazon and shopping for stuff. He gave me a sealed copy, never opened, of the 50 greatest superstars of all time. Can't wait.
One of the greats. It's great.
Oh,
I watched it. It's really, really great.
I didn't even have to pay for it.
It's great, man.
Great. He gave me a copy of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 from THQ for PlayStation 2. I don't have a PlayStation 2, but Darren said he had 2 copies, so he offloaded it on me. Darren.
What else are you gonna do with it?
Darren as we're recording, is also moving into a new house, so I guarantee the wife said, "Get this crap out of
Yes, oh yes.
out of here." And then, of course, my favorite thing is I got myself a nice little, and I'm showing Phil here right now. Got myself a nice little throw pillow.
Oh, a little ginger snap.
Yes. From what I can decipher, it is one of Darren's shirts that says Ginger Snap, his finisher, and it's got his likeness in cartoon form on it. And it's one of his T-shirts that I believe has been ripped.
Cool.
Yeah. The wife actually sewed it.
It's cool.
It
looks really cool.
It's really nice.
She has many talents.
She does.
Yes.
Very, very nice pillow. Anyway, so that's our mini moments of merch brought to you by Darren Corbin, the Loudmouth Mercenary.
And we'll have a new video coming up because I just got mine and
a crate. You didn't win anything.
No, I didn't win anything. I'm hoping
you
I
had
can.
a shot to win something, but then because of your credit card information, you didn't.
Hey, yeah, I know. I screwed it up. I talked to Darren.
Snafu's happened.
No, I had to get a new
How
credit
much
debit
more can you
card,
give this
and I
man?
forgot. I know. I'm giving more ammo. I know.
How much more
But
ammo
hey,
can you give this man to hate you?
Yes, but hey, I got a crate. I'm gonna have a video up soon, and I'll have a list of everything that I got in there. And what I'm not gonna say one thing you got was the greatest thing I thought in there was great. But yeah, it'll be up soon, and we'll do more of these moments of merch.
Mini moments of merch. Coming to you in later episodes many times. Now on to 1 week from today, we have, ladies and gentlemen, this year's Money in the Bank.
Oh boy.
Climbing the corporate ladder. Sort of a different idea of a match this year. Due to the Hellfire and Brimstone currently suffered in Wisconsin, WWE has decided to take action, and they have decided to, for the safety of all people and because they have a heartfelt love for the state of Wisconsin, don't know why, it must be the beer and the cheese.
It has to be.
They have some love for the state of Wisconsin, so they are deciding that they are going to do it at WWE headquarters, where on the roof of the headquarters will be held both contracts, both men and women. The matches will be held simultaneously, and you have to climb from the ground floor to the roof. For this year's Money in the Bank, obviously, again, due to Hellfire and Brimstone, there will be no fans, and they've had to change up the pay-per-view. So
I think it might get a little hot when they get up to the top, unless they get above that. So
remember, chemistry, heat rises.
All right.
So anyway, as of right now, the current match card. I'm just trying to look it up here as I can.
Hey, it's in front of you.
The match card.
What we have. Yeah, I do. All right, if you want. All right, match card. You know.
Anyway, I've got it right here.
And you got it right there.
Yep. As of right now, we have the men's and women's Money in the Bank. We have Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. I have some thoughts on that coming up here in a second. We have Bayley versus Tamina, McIntyre versus Rollins, and then we have the tag team match, Fatal 4-Way for the championships. New Day versus John Morrison and The Miz versus Lucha House Party.
And Forgotten Sons.
Grand Metalik specifically, and Lince Dorado. And, of course, the Forgotten Sons, the newest tag team from NXT that is now part of the SmackDown roster. Shout out to those gentlemen. Thank you for your service.
The last two I got on here, it was rumored that they're going to have the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders for the tag, and maybe Sammy and Gulak for the Intercontinental.
So not official.
It's not official. It was rumor up there, so I put that down just because it could, yes or no. Street Profits definitely.
I wouldn't be mad
could see
about
that
either
happen.
one of those matches.
No.
Honestly,
I think they'd be
love
good.
The Street Profits, and I really, really love the Viking Raiders.
Oh yeah,
and I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan, and I'm starting to really like Drew Gulak a little more.
As of this time of recording, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match is currently set at only 5 people because of an injury, KFAB or otherwise, to Apollo Crews. They are going to currently have
very upset about that.
They're going to be having a last chance gauntlet match to get back in, similar to what they did to the women's NXT ladder match. Hopefully, you can live up to that hype. Shotzi Blackheart, shout out to you for being the MVP of that gauntlet match. You went through 5 competitors before Dakota Kai knocked your butt out.
Dakota Kai.
Well,
captain of Team Kick. Anyway, over to Phil here. Phil, a random question here. Okay, so obviously to be announced, the final person, we assume it's going to be the losers from the past matches. My question to you is, of the people that we know confirmed, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black, King Corbin, and Superior's own Otis, any thoughts on...
Really?
Otis is in there, yep.
He is from...
No, I did not know he's from Superior.
Yes, he is a Wisconsin boy.
Two of my buddies who we're going to have on the show are actually... They actually went to high school with him.
Oh, wow. He's a great guy.
Yeah, anyway.
I love Otis.
Phil, I'm going to kick it over to you. Leroy, jump in if you'd like here. Thoughts on who you think is going to be winning that? Just a quick thought. I mean, it's a stacked field, but in my opinion, some guys that...
Who do I think is going to win, or who do I want to win?
Let's do both.
Okay. Who I would want to win? Aleister Black. I like this guy. I think he is extremely, extremely dangerous. But who
Tommy End.
but who I think is gonna win, King Corbin.
Really?
You know, hey, I do agree with you that.
You think he's fixed his backstage image enough to where they're going to go with him again?
I don't know. I think he's really been.
Because that was the rumor as to why he lost the first time was because his backstage image had just soured with a bunch of people. So they basically made him get squashed because his attitude backstage sucked.
I think he got beat up, but I do agree with you. I mean, it all depends on which one of the ladies get it. Because
Really?
I think it'd be
that's
fun.
going to have a correlation?
I think because if kind of like Babyface gets the women's, yeah, then we're gonna kind of have a heel hit the guys.
Okay.
And out of all, yeah, as I agree with you. I mean, Aleister Black would be good. I'd love it for Ray because he got screwed by a money back. He got cashed in on that.
By Kane,
that would be great to have Rey Mysterio. But
I love Ray.
I do think
but I think Ray's
Corbin.
over. I think Ray's at the point in his career where he's probably in for another 2-3 years to build up a couple of people, maybe get his son in there.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then he's probably done. I think it's past because I hate to say this, but the WWE title that he won that one night in the tournament before Cena took it off on the same night, that was kind of a lifetime achievement thing for Ray.
Oh yeah,
it seemed like it.
But yeah, I do have a feeling.
And Daniel Bryan's more part time now. He's admitted that he doesn't think he's going to do it full time anymore, which is weird because he just got back.
Wait, what?
Daniel Bryan recently in an interview
that.
said he even admits at this point in his career he thinks he's just a part timer. He doesn't think he's able to do the full schedule anymore.
Body wise or just mentally?
Probably
both.
Probably mentally. He's got 2 kids now.
Yeah, no.
Did she have? No, they didn't have the baby yet.
But she's pregnant with the second kid.
In the process of second kid.
He's gonna have 2 kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's gonna be an uncle because again, the twins are pregnant at the same time.
Yeah.
They might actually be able to fit in their dresses now that this thing has been postponed due to health violence.
Right.
Yeah, there might be. Yes.
Over to the women's match here, we have officially.
Who did you pick, Zach?
You know, honestly, I think it's whoever's going to be announced. I think it's going to be whoever gets in there.
Oh, really?
Whoever they put in, I think
really.
they're going to just. Here's
and
my
you know
thing.
what?
Here's my
you know.
thing. It's in a building. Here's my dream scenario. Not who wins, but here's my dream scenario. If you're King Corbin, I want Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, Otis, and whoever else is. I want them to fight down a hallway, and then just have King Corbin and a cameraman standing there. And I don't want Corbin to get on the elevator. And then when he gets to the top, I want them all to just be sitting there waiting for him and just be staring at him. You have a perfect comedic chance here, and it's absolutely
whatever. You have the cameras in, all of a sudden
that would be good.
Elevator opens, like, oh, I'm going to use the elevator. Why not?
But the thing about
it
is just imagine the comedic moment for King Corbin if all of a sudden the elevator reopens and there's all 5 guys standing there.
Now,
that'd be great.
Now, I'm going to hold you to this. All right. Rumor, and people have said this. They think Jinder Mahal might be the next one that they add, that he might win this whole thing.
Back too.
So, are you still going to hold that if he gets that money in the bank? Do you think he'd be worthy to get that money in the bank?
Here's my thing.
I don't know.
Here's my thing. If it's Jinder, we all know that Vince put the title on him because everyone at that time, TNA as well, Impact, they were breaking into the Indian market. So that's partially the reason why Vince put the title on. But again, I'm not saying that Jinder is in greatest WWE title holder of all time thing. But here's the thing. I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is.
Okay.
But here's
you
the
have
thing.
a lot of people
one,
mad at you for that one.
Yeah, number one.
Yokozuna.
He was the official 50th WWE champion of all time.
Really?
Officially, he was the 50th man to ever hold that. JBL said that live.
I did not know that.
And then number 2, he was a heel.
Oh yeah.
How many times I gotta say that? He made you hate him. He did his job. I don't care how long he had the belt.
It wasn't long. It was like a month or two.
He did his damn job. So, in my opinion, again, Vince likes guys. Why do you think? Okay, first of all, everyone wonders why AJ Styles gets good things from Vince, even though he's former Impact. Because and also AJ's a wee guy.
Oh yeah, he does whatever's good for the business.
What's the best for the damn company?
Yeah, he's whatever's for business.
Yeah, especially watching him go hit me and he slaps Vince McMahon. That was just
so
that was crazy, but I love it. It was so good.
So anyway,
we got the women's now.
Yeah. So on to the women's here. Right now we have Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella. That field is set, barring injury in the next 6 days. That is the current field for that. Interesting field. I think you have a lot of ways you can go with it. The way they've built Dana Brooke, it's almost like she's going to be on the ladder when it comes down, but she's not going to be getting it. I don't think she's been built to the point where she's getting it. But it almost
would be
seems
nice. It would be nice.
You know, my pick, and not going to be Shayna Baszler. I don't think she's going to. No, I'm pulling for Lacey Evans. I
Not
mean,
a bad pick at all.
I think she was really kind of raw at the beginning, but she's really
done a
gotten better.
fantastic
She
job
has.
since she moved
I
up.
mean,
Great
oh yes.
chemistry.
Brilliant. But may I throw a monkey wrench in here? And I'd like both your guys' thought here. Lacey Evans, good pick. But remember, Shayna Baszler lost to Becky Lynch in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But if we all remember, and people are saying
She was winning the match.
Well, no. Think about this. When she was in NXT, which again, she's called the most dominant woman in the history of NXT, even over Asuka because she was a 2-time champion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was good in the NXT.
But remember, her first NXT title match, she lost to Ember Moon.
I did not know that. I remember her and Kairi Sane.
Um,
Or is that when she lost the NXT title?
No.
Was Kairi Sane?
No. If I remember correctly, when Shayna Baszler first got to NXT, when they were building her up,
Yeah.
she lost a title match. I believe it was to Ember Moon.
Oh, for the title, you mean? This
For
is
the
before
title.
she got the title the first time. Okay,
yes,
so yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So my whole thing about this is that I don't remember if it was, okay, I'm looking it up here. I can't really find it right now, but I don't remember if it was for, okay, no, here we go. She continued to attack Kai until WWE or NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon made the save. That led to a title match against Ember Moon. Ember defeated Baszler to retain the title, but was attacked by Baszler afterwards. So what I'm saying, and I said this the moment Becky beat her, this is not a bad loss if they build her well. So, a little foreshadowing going back, this is how Baszler's NXT run started. So is it, I mean, depending on what happens in this match, we're going to find out if they're done with Baszler or if they're building her the same way they did in NXT. Because it worked in NXT.
Very good. It worked very well.
It worked in NXT. So my biggest thing is Shayna Baszler, in my opinion, if they give it to her, can you imagine the cage fighter walking around with that thing for up to a year?
It'd be something.
She can choke you out, and she could choke you out, then hand the referee the title, and just freaking pin you right there.
That would be, I think, kind of very similar to Brock Lesnar when he got his, a little bit. Because
the difference is I don't see Shayna Baszler having that much fun with it though. Brock
no, I don't think. I don't think. Oh yeah, he was.
The dance thing is
but
the greatest
I don't know
gif I've ever seen in my life. Of
yes, but I don't know if does she need it. I mean, does she really need that? Baszler, that
the money in the bank? No, I don't think she does.
I don't think she needs that to further her. But I do like your angle. I do like your angle on that.
But remember, Becky Lynch is not on the show. Becky Lynch already said, I am going to sit at home and watch who wins Money in the Bank. So this could continue her taking it from Becky. Because Becky, in my opinion, is still white hot. You keep the belt on her because she knows. And by the way, we're going to be referring to them as belts on this thing because they're belts. That's like,
They're belts.
They're belts. Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, but here's my thing. I think it would help. I think it would be a good thing here. Anyway, since it's Money in the Bank, we're going to try to breeze through a couple of quick matches here to move on to more topics we got here. I don't want to just thumb over them, but I do want to say my thoughts on the Universal title match. As of right now, it is Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt, not The Fiend. It is him versus Bray Wyatt. Now, Phil, you're looking at me like you don't remember this, but Daniel Bryan faced Bray Wyatt, the Mr. Rogers version of Bray Wyatt, for the Universal title.
Yes, I do.
So, okay, so you know about it. So, here's my thing. If it's him versus Bray Wyatt, I see this being Bray Wyatt loses and then The Fiend comes and makes the save. Because remember, The Fiend is basically making amends for Bray's past issues. So, in my opinion, if it stays Bray and not The Fiend, I foresee this being Braun.
I could see that. Yeah, I think they could keep it on Braun for a little bit, and they keep the story going longer because it's very interesting.
And there's a lot more past between Bray and Braun than there was anyone else that the Fiend's gone up against.
Oh yeah, they have
Yeah,
great
I
John
history.
Cena was a one-off at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to keep it on
dedicated
Braun.
like a month to that segment.
No, I think they're going to keep it on Braun. I actually like this story. I didn't know that it wasn't The Fiend. I seen that they did the.
As of right now, it is currently being promoted. Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. Yes, I know The Fiend and him are technically one and the same, but whenever The Fiend's been out, they've promoted it as The Fiend.
Yeah.
It's been The Fiend.
It was The Fiend, Bray Wyatt against Seth Rollins for the title. So yeah,
And they could. I mean, Braun could win, and this could roll into a SummerSlam match.
This.
I mean, definitely.
Well, they have the past to make it build up into something very good.
Yes. Bayley versus Tamina. It could go either way, but I think since Banks is not in the Money in the Bank, I foresee this being Banks getting involved and probably getting squashed by Tamina. Who's going to win? Again, I think it's a 50-50, and I'm not going to predict a 50-50. Drew McIntyre versus Rollins, I think that's a pretty easy squash. I think not a squash as in Rollins is going to get beat up, but a squash as in they're not taking it off Drew right away.
Oh,
Not
heck
right
no.
now.
I'd be so mad if they
tag-
took it off Drew.
Tag team match? Look, I didn't think they were going to take it off Miz and Morrison that quickly.
Me either.
Do you give the Forgotten Sons it right away? Because I still think they're a little raw. I don't think they can talk just yet. I haven't heard.
I'm not ready for these guys.
I'm gonna call him Gunner, not Jackson Riker, because that's how I know him from Impact. Gunner.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just for me. I don't think the Forgotten Son. Not yet. To be honest, though, Lucha House Party just beat Miz and Morrison live on TV. They could just throw us all for a loop and put friggin' the Lucha House Party as the champions there.
I hope not. But yeah, either they're going to keep it on the New Day, or I think the Miz and Morrison will get it back.
We're going to skip over the matches that are not confirmed yet. We'll talk about them in the recap if they end up happening. Again, Leroy.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Again, Leroy, thank you for bringing that up.
All right, yeah.
So moving on here in the show from Money in the Bank. So Money in the Bank is known as... so like I was saying to Phil here, it has superstars like Ray in there and Daniel, but it also has stars in there like Otis, because he's not there yet. To a quick segment here that I'd like to talk to you about, and Leroy as well, and actually you out there. So this segment is called Superstars versus Stars. And what I mean by this, and I'm going to be very specific, there is a difference between someone who is a superstar in wrestling and someone who is just an athletic star. Triple H has said NXT is creating the next WWE stars. It's the highest level. You can't just be athletic and work in WWE. You need a character. You can't just be a character. You need the physical. Like, you have to have both for it to work at this level.
And you have to be able to speak.
That's my point.
That's the hard... Yeah,
that's the character. So,
okay, I got you.
Okay, so anyway, I'm going to bring up this comparison because this is what I've ranted about to Leroy for a while. Let's hear. All right, let's take Hulk Hogan, and then let's take Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega, supposedly the greatest wrestler in the world right now.
Says who?
Says Dave Meltzer and a lot of other people.
Okay.
I think he's full of you-know-what.
Anyway, but here's the thing. Kenny Omega, first of all, I'm going to talk about Kenny when I talk about Spot Monkey Wrestling. But Kenny Omega, first of all, name one guy outside of Okada that's made Kenny Omega good. You can't, because it hasn't happened.
Well,
the
the
9-year-old
girl,
that
little girl.
The 9-year-old girl that he faced over in Japan maybe made him a star, but
maybe
not in the best way. But here's the thing. You out there who are anti-WWE right now and literally just love whatever is in WWE, are you honestly going to look me in the face and say that Kenny Omega is in the class of Hulk Hogan? Athletically, Hogan's not in
his class.
In Kenny's league, but in terms of superstar, and in my opinion, superstar...
Or impact.
Yeah, superstar is defined as you've made an impact, you have done this, you've done that, you have elevated the business, and you had the whole package. Hogan is... Mount Rushmore, I'm sorry, he is, because you don't
definitely
have what you have without Hogan. He has to be out there.
He's the foundation.
Thank you. But my thing is that okay? Are you people who out there who love modern wrestling too much and hate WWE? You gonna tell me that Kenny Omega is bigger than Hulk Hogan ever was? Don't even make me laugh.
Here's fine.
I can give you at least 7 guys that are bigger than Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah,
and half of them don't even have Kenny's athleticism.
And he's a great worker, but is he a superstar? No.
The guy comes off as a wuss half the time.
Oh, damn it. But, superstars too is...
Nerd, but don't make him a wussy nerd.
As you look at Hogan, I mean, I go to my mom. My mom does not watch wrestling, doesn't know wrestling. She's retired. But I can say, hey, Mom, do you know who Hulk Hogan is? Do you know who Ric Flair? Oh, yeah, I know who that... And she doesn't want... But she knows. A normal, everyday person knows who Hogan... If I had Kenny Omega... Who?
No, exactly.
Is that a friend
Outside
of yours?
of the demographic, how relevant are you?
Kenny Omega's matches are like a video game. They're fun to watch.
Yes.
They're entertaining from that standpoint. But Kenny Omega doesn't grab a mic and make me want to. Okay. I'm gonna point this out to someone else. Another question for people who might want to comment on this, and we'll pretend on the show. Are you telling me right now that Kenny Omega is gonna pick up a microphone based on everything we've learned from him in the 20 years he's been doing this, and he's gonna drop a pipe bomb like interview? No. The man is not going to drop.
No.
CM Punk dropped that thing, and the world stopped. The vibe backstage, according to Kofi Kingston, was so damn quiet you could have heard a pin drop in the next freaking county. So my whole thing is this. Superstar versus stars. There are guys that I am not going to say. I am not a professional wrestler, and I'm not physically in Kenny Omega's world. The man doesn't need to talk to me about his physical ability. But the fact of the matter is that Kenny Omega, and you know what? Screw it. I'll put Cody Rhodes in that category. He's a star right now.
He's a star.
But But here's the deal: if we're comparing Hogan to Kenny, we're going to compare Cody to his dad.
And it ain't close.
No.
His dad is a goat to me personally.
His dad. Okay. Cody has traits of Dusty. Traits.
Yeah, man,
No. I will give Cody this. If you listen to Cody's promos, he's good. He has, but here's the deal: he has Dusty's way of saying something that doesn't make any sense to
but
you,
it's good.
but he somehow ties it back into what he's doing. Are you telling me Dusty wrote those things down? No, man.
Hell
No, man. Half those things were off the cuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
back then it was all off the cuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's why. Like, and Dusty's underrated.
So what I'm saying is this: you have guys who are superstars, and then there are stars. We'll go into this a little bit later, but that's my thing. So anyway, from transitioning to superstars, we all mentioned GOAT here. Leroy, you've got a little bit of a bone to pick with some people on a GOAT conversation here. So I'm gonna turn this over to you.
well, yeah, especially and I got a conversation with somebody, and they love this, and everybody and some in the PWL, I love everybody on there, but sometimes their opinions makes me scratch my head, and other kids, they're putting
Scratch your head or make you pull your hair out.
a little of both,
I bet.
but they want to put Jeff Hardy in the same breath as Ric Flair
Stop it.
as a GOAT. I'm like, what?
If you want,
Oh my god! I mean,
For those of you who don't know, I love Jeff Hardy.
I love him
I
too.
do.
Jeff is one of my favorites, but Jeff Hardy would look at you and say, "You're higher than I was."
Man.
You're
I
higher
mean,
than I
like-
was that night against Sting.
it's like
Sorry, Jeff, I had to.
it's like it's like all these kids around. I mean, they're seeing this wrestling, this and that. It's like, go back. I mean, and Zach did it. Go back and watch everybody back in the day what I grew up with. Harley Race, Ric Flair.
You came up
the
in
Honky
the
Tonk
original
Man.
Golden Age of Wrestling.
I mean,
I
right
love
there.
Jeff, but Jeff,
Our tag team.
Jeff-
Yeah, tag team. He's up there for
but if you want to
that
give him
GOAT
like
concession.
goats of high flyers, I'd give him that.
sure, I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
but that's
here's
it.
Here's the deal. Jeff Hardy, back in Ric Flair's heyday, when Ric Flair was primed, I would say
Yeah, mid 80s.
mid 80s. Jeff Hardy would be the guy holding the curtain and would be out
That's
for the
a-
first match
Yeah.
to make you
Yeah.
all be like,
It's
I've
like-
got enough beer, bring on the stars.
Yeah.
That's who
Yes.
Jeff Hardy would have
That's
been
about
back
it.
in Ric Flair's heyday.
But yeah, if anybody want to get in a GOAT conversation with me and trying to figure out who's been like, do your damn research, get off your mama's nipple there and do some research, look at the network, and then when you actually watch all these matches and these shows that I watched when I grew up, then we can have a conversation. And you might actually go, God dang, he was right. He's older, but God
forget
dang,
the-
he's right.
Forget the fact that it's a trilogy. One of those Steamboat matches is
Oh my
better than
God.
Jeff's ever.
Are you talking about Rick?
Yes.
Oh, come
Oh,
on,
Rick
man.
and him and
Rick
Steamboat.
and
Oh, my
Steamboat.
Forget the
God.
trilogy.
Don't worry about the trilogy,
Forget
just
the
one.
100%.
You're talking about the original one?
No,
Or any of them?
No. One of those three matches in the trilogy is better than Jeff's first
Catalog?
catalog. It just
Yeah, well,
they told a story
Every time.
Okay. And thinking about Steamboat too. Steamboat Macho Man, WrestleMania 3. Okay, is there any match that Matt Hardy has done, and Jeff, sorry,
either one. Honestly.
either one?
No
Have-
offense to Matt.
Have they did any caliber matches in any pay-per-view that stole from the main event was Hogan Andre?
Think
The
about
passing
that.
of the torch. And they tore down. That was one of the greatest Macho Man matches
you
I've
have-
seen in my life.
When you
Yeah.
have matches that you're told in wrestling school, this is your homework, you're in GOAT conversations. When you have matches
Good
that are
point.
like, talk to these guys so you don't get hurt, that's a different kind of
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
yeah.
a lot of like I said before,
That's a good point.
a lot of the guys now in NXT, the ones that we like that are actually big, they learn from Dusty. I mean,
Yeah.
you learn from one of the greatest talkers besides Ric Flair, one of the great performers. I mean, they told a story.
Dusty
I mean, it
was
wasn't.
great at telling stories.
It wasn't a 10-minute whatever jump
No.
off the rope,
If
bounce
I-
out like Spot Monkey. But hey,
If I could have gotten 10 minutes with Dusty Rhodes,
oh my,
Oh my god.
let me point something out. I would have remembered every word that man
Oh
said.
come on, you have to.
okay.
Give me 10 minutes with him, and I will repeat for you verbatim
Verbatim,
what
yeah.
he told me.
I have a son, he's 25, and I brought him to a show, and Ric Flair was on the show, and he was just in high school. and he knew who Ric Flair was because of wrestling.
Ric
And we
Flair
both
makes
sit
you-
there and went like this.
Ric Flair
We're not
makes you-
worthy.
Ric Flair doesn't even have to put on a pair of boots, and you will pay money to see him.
Oh,
Oh,
damn
of
right.
course.
Damn right.
To see him talk about himself.
Jeff Hardy needs a ladder for me to pay money. I'm sorry.
All right.
He needs something.
And I love Jeff.
I love Jeff.
love Jeff
but,
so much.
But there are very, very there's levels to this. Let's be honest. And Jeff, you're great.
But Jeff wouldn't say he was on that level.
I wouldn't.
We're
No,
talking
he
to
would
the
not.
idiots that Leroy's yelling
Yeah.
at.
Yeah, and all right, and we'll go from there. On another time, or I'll go on
Nice transition.
YouTube, and I'll go
Yeah.
in. But
We'll
we'll
transition
talk
from-
about territories
Yeah.
because
We
that's
talked
where the
about
goats
Dusty.
came from,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Dusty, where they started. Yeah, I mean,
And the indies are a lot like the territories now. I just think it's
Yes.
different because the indies are more set for cities, not necessarily states.
Yeah.
Whereas
Not regions, really.
Well,
The
territories
were
were-
for
two states were normally a territory.
Well,
Well,
see,
yeah.
now when I lived in Mississippi, they had it was Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
and Deep South.
And that was the other one.
Yeah.
Deep South, yeah.
And WCW for a while
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were down in the Georgia.
And on me and up here was mine. It was AWA.
Yep.
It was Vern Gagne. I mean, that was the mainstay up here, and I think it was the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. I think that's
And
the biggest one.
And the biggest thing for me is Phil's probably going to join me a lot in defending a guy like Vince McMahon.
Yes.
I don't think Vince McMahon killed the territories. I'm not saying he didn't help the growth of them. He did take the best stars and put them in one place and made them exclusive. But here's the deal. The reason why we bring up the territories is because Leroy said the GOATs all came from there, and then they all came to Vince, and that's how you got to know them more. But they were all regionalized. The territories died out, and I think it's been proven Vince didn't kill the territories.
No. He
What
just bought
killed-
the talent.
Well, here's the deal. I think what killed the territories is the exact reason why I will go off on Spot Monkey Wrestling. The boys, the wrestlers, should not be in charge of the booking. You
Nope.
ain't
Nope.
Dusty.
No.
Nope.
Stop acting like you Dusty Rhodes and you can book a card.
And because Dusty knew, and Dusty wasn't selfish. He wasn't trying to put himself over every damn time.
Oh God, no.
But I think Vince, I mean, he looked at the way he thought wrestling was going, and what he saw, he goes, "I have an idea." He ran with that idea,
My buddy
and that
Thomas
was the
is gonna be
best
on
thing in the
show
world.
here, and
Oh, yeah.
and Thomas hates WWE right now. Honestly, can't
Okay.
stand it.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one.
Oh, yeah.
He loves the old territory days. He likes to talk about that. He loves New Japan because he feels like it's old school territory type of wrestling.
Okay.
And he's more of the sports aspect of it than the entertainment aspect of it. But the thing about it is that Vince McMahon, and again, this has been reported, whether it's been by Vince himself or whoever, Vince wanted an entertainment company,
Not a wrestling company. He says it all the time.
But the thing about it is that Vince McMahon has given you the opportunity to see wrestling on a level and on a platform that by the way, here's the deal. You get to see the biggest names in the business, AJ Styles, this, that, yada, yada. But here's the deal. Back in the days of Deep South and WCW, you didn't see
Anyone
those
but
guys
the-
unless you went to Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Rick,
They never
that's how
made it
Rick
to
Fla-
Minnesota.
No, and that's
No.
what it was. You
Rick
have
did,
to.
but-
Well, he started up here
Yeah.
though,
Yes.
but it was so different. Like, and that's how I knew guys like the Road Warriors and things like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because when I came up to Chicago and they were on TV, it was a totally different region. And that's actually when I started to watch more WWF or WWE now, but was because they were national. They were on.
And
like,
and nowadays the indies exist, but the indies are different because because talent is so exclusive or I guess inclusive
Yes.
on the indie circuit is you can have a guy come in for a night and then you might not see him for 6 months because he has to make 80 other appearances. So I can't wait to highlight that. Now transitioning into our next topic with territories and indies. Work schedules are getting lighter. Rumors are WWE is going to stop doing as many house shows as they've done. Wrestling's probably not going to be a 300-day a year thing anymore. But the thing about it is that I think a lot of people these days, it's the whole thing about NFL players that I always say. These guys make enough money on their first couple of deals that they're kind of set for life. So you don't need to work as hard as you did one day. So I mean, what are your thoughts on like the work schedule lightening up there, Leroy? Is that good or bad for the business?
I think it's good and bad. If they're not going to be any house shows, some people are going to miss out on that. But the good part about that is, I think people aren't going to get as hurt. I mean, that's a lot of wear and tear. I mean, if people don't know about that ring, because we put them together, there's not a lot of padding that they get dropped on.
There's padding.
A little bit. Okay, cushion,
Was
whatever
that in the
that
bathroom when you put the padding on?
felt, but there's not.
It's freaking plywood.
Yeah, I mean, there's no give. So I mean, if somebody gets hit,
actually, to quote Jay Bill, it's literally cordwood. It's literally pieces of cut cordwood underneath that ring.
But
That's
as
what they
people,
use.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
Straight up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna bring your
We'll
ass
get
to the
you there.
show, and you're gonna put this thing together. It also gets you in for free, so there you go.
All right,
but
I'll do it.
But here's the deal. It's metal bars, and then you put giant cordwood, basically planks
across the bottom
on there, and then you basically pull over this mat that's about as thick as my friggin' phone here, and that's it. That's the ring,
And that's what they get slammed on.
yeah.
They get slammed, and it hurts.
crazy.
I mean, like we watched Matt, they put somebody through a table. The table didn't break right, so they had to do it again. This happens. I mean, everyone's like,
Jason and I still apologize for that. Sorry.
oh yeah, but they get hit with things. I mean, it was like, oh, wrestling just fake. Okay, it's staged entertainment. They know who's going to win.
Hand smacked in your face.
Predetermined is what I.
It's
use.
predetermined.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you get
the
hit.
finishers are predetermined.
You get hit by a chair. You get thrown out of the ring. Samoa Joe jumped out of the ring. He was doing his normal thing. He hit wrong. He got injured. AJ Styles, he fell wrong when he took a bump at the Royal Rumble. He got injured. It happens.
And by the way, side note, AJ did not blame Edge for that. Correct?
No, and he did
No.
because that's work. I mean,
That
but
ain't ballet.
if they're not doing as much, then there's a better chance that they're not going to get hurt. Freak accidents that happen, it happens no matter what you're working, any kind of job. Freak accident happen. That'll
agree
help
with you
a lot.
from that standpoint, but what I think it's a bad thing, quality-wise. With the house shows, they can do a little bit more. They can practice with each other with stories and stuff like that. So I think working together with people helps you. Working together with people helps you, but I don't know about not being able to work so much.
Now, it's interesting you say that because that's a great segment into our next topic here. Is obviously we have the empty arenas going, and where I'm going with this is WWE's got it a little bit better off because you have a situation where they have the Performance Center versus, let's say, AEW, Spot Monkey Wrestling, who have I don't know if they're in the same stadium doing all of their show because they're still performing just like WWE.
Yeah.
But I think this is where WWE has the advantage is that they have the Performance Center. It's a place where they have a network quality stage and everything. So that could also help with the work schedule. But that might be something that you can is that WWE at least has a place where you can keep the rust off.
That's very true. I did not think of that. I know I wasn't thinking of that.
The Performance Center is one of those things that I think is going to make the work schedule a little easier because
that's very true.
Because
doesn't Impact have the kind of the same thing where they have a spot or not anymore?
I don't believe they have anymore because I think they used to use the old ROH place in Jersey, but
Okay.
Well, no, they had a thing down in I thought it was Orlando.
Well, they had the Impact Zone, but they're not working.
They're not doing that at all anymore. Okay, all right.
Yeah, no, but my whole thing about it is that I think you can keep the rust off if you have a televised match. You have 6 days to prepare for that thing.
True.
You can keep the rust off. You can work out. It's a world class facility. To all of you out there, again, who are anti-WWE, there is not a place in this world outside of maybe the New Japan Dojo that is as good as the Performance Center. And honestly, in terms of just overall physical facility, not teaching, but teaching's amazing too.
I was gonna say, come on now.
But no. First of all, though, if you look at some of the people that have run that dojo, from Daniel Bryan to Finn Balor, there's some pretty good people.
Wait,
that
the New Japan thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan?
Shinsuke Nakamura is a protege of Daniel Bryan. The real thing.
Okay.
But no, it's
And
like
I love Shinsuke.
outside of teachings, physically there's no way that dojo looks like the Performance Center. There's no way that you have that many rings.
Because it's 3 rings in there plus a entire workout facility.
They got everything.
Shout out,
medical, everything.
Shout out to a man we talked about earlier, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He doesn't trust his daughter training with
Anybody else
but the PC.
Yeah. No, I actually watched that.
And
that clip.
and being a father and having a little girl,
You want the best.
you want the best
You
for your
damn
little
right you
girl.
do.
And being
So that's my thing is that I don't necessarily know. I jumped ahead one here, but I'll circle back, going back to NXT being at the Performance Center. So it's been reported that with the whole Hellfire and Brimstone thing, that NXT guys and gals have been given 30 days pay, and then they're allowed to do what they want. I think.
I do have the roster there.
It's been
yes.
reported.
Yeah, no, I heard about this earlier.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Why would you? And I'm going to say this to a lot of these people. Outside of people who are down there, like let's say Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era, why would half of these people? And I'm going through the list of people that are on this list right here. We're talking Cameron Grimes, Damian Priest, Danny Burch, Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah, all three of all those guys can leave.
Why would you leave the Performance Center? Stick around.
Because they probably think they're bigger stars than they are.
But here's the thing, though. A lot of these guys are made by WWE. They were made.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. We talked about this, empty arenas. You know, obviously, again, I don't know if NXT is doing stadium versus the Performance Center. I think that's where AEW, I apologize. I think that's where AEW is going to have a hard time keeping up if this goes any longer. All the hellfire and brimstone.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
I hate that damn stuff.
God,
It's the worst.
I'm still coughing because of it. But here's my thing. There are so many guys and gals on this list that it's like, first of all, no one's doing shows, so I don't know where the heck you're going to go. And number two, even if WWE's not paying you, we all know the hellfire and brimstone's eventually going to pass. We're all going to get somewhat back to normal. So my whole thing about this is that I'm looking up and down the roster. Outside of guys like Keith Lee and maybe Cassius Ohno, first of all, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are not going anywhere.
Hell no.
They are NXT.
They are, yes.
But the thing
Johnny Wrestling.
But here's the deal. Everyone of the Undisputed Era would be okay. I think Velveteen Dream, I don't think he can leave WWE and do that again.
He better worry about some other things right now.
I will say this,
Yes,
though,
definitely.
to what you're referring to, I've actually heard the audio. That's not his voice. I 110%.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It is way too low, in my opinion. Because you listen to his interviews, it's a much higher toned voice.
Yeah, he does have a
him.
higher tone
so
voice. Yes, he does.
I don't think it is. Not to mention fact, if WWE really cared about it, they wouldn't have him in a live title match this week on NXT.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
But here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to throw out some names who would be just fine if they walked out of NXT, although I don't know why they would. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. That's where I'm stopping.
Okay.
I don't think anyone else in NXT should leave.
Are you thinking none of the female performers you think would be?
Here's the deal.
What about EO?
Here's the difference, though. Io Shirai will be the first person to probably say this. Okay. First of all, it was reported Io Shirai was going to leave a while back. They thought that she was going to leave when her contract ran up. But
I hope not.
But here's the deal. Io Shirai is in the same business, is in the same issue that Asuka is, and Kairi Sane. There's no women's division in Japan.
True.
Don't give me Stardom. They're still not promoting the women the way they should. Everyone is asking. Asuka, when she was brought down from at WrestleMania, why did she stay with WWE? Why'd she stay? She's been looking weak. There's no business she has in Japan. She's never going to be a star in Japan. They don't put the female division up in Japan. Not the way they should. For God's sakes, you have a company with a 9-year-old girl that works for Kenny Omega.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know about that. And I looked it up, and I was like, "No, you're kidding me!" And I was watching. I'm like,
insanity.
"Oh Lord!"
He also wrestled a blow-up doll. Real thing.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I'm like, "Yeah."
Okay, so but
he was lonely, and he brought his lover. Well, no. Sorry.
But anyway, I'm looking at this roster. Rhea Ripley, we all know, is stuck in Australia due to visa issues. Bianca Belair is now on Raw. Candice LeRae, she's Johnny's wife. She ain't going anywhere.
Nowhere.
Dakota Kai's not ready to come up. Casey Catanzaro.
What about Tegan Knox? You don't think she could?
She's bland. Sorry.
Yeah.
For as bland as people thought, and again, she has this on her gear all the time. But it's like, for as bland as people thought Brie Larson was in the first Marvel.
Oh wow! Okay.
In the first Captain Marvel.
Okay.
That's Tegan Knox's personality. Dakota Kai, I love it. You're carrying that segment.
Oh man, you're right. You ain't lying about that. She is.
But the thing about it is that Casey Catanzaro also. Casey Catanzaro is former Ninja Warrior.
I remember her.
She needs to. In my opinion, I don't think watching her on TV. I don't feel like she's as committed as people think.
I don't know, man.
I've seen her a couple of
times.
I'm not questioning your commitment to what you do. You are hurting yourself, and I commend you on that. But she has that sort of movement in the ring where it's like she still thinks it's Ninja Warrior and it's for play. She still. Her mentality,
I think she thinks too much in the ring.
I think
she might be. Yes.
I think that she still doesn't think this is her full-time gig.
Okay.
That's what I've seen. is that I'm not saying she's bad. She's incredibly athletic, very good.
Oh, yes.
But the thing about it
Very
is that
athletic.
I don't think her mind has flipped to I have to be this. But anyway, that's my whole thing about NXT leave is that I just guys, where the heck are half of you going to go? I'm looking up and down this roster. You guys are most of your bookings for indie wrestling would be because you were former NXT people.
That's
Yeah.
It's just,
yes.
I'm looking at our list here, so we might actually. Are we going to hit all 13 today? It maybe.
We you know what? We've made through 11. That's
Pretty
good.
weird. That's last time we didn't get that far.
No, but the one thing that I'll say is I think we're gonna skip one of them because I kind of want to delve into that a little more deeply because I think it's a longer topic. But here at 13 Cards Subject to Change would like to send out our best regards to the current 24/7 champion and new Tampa Bay Buccaneer Gronk. Phil's rolling his eyes because Phil is a diehard Patriots fan. We are wishing you the best and
Way to go, Gronk! I'm happy for you, man.
Well, it's money.
He suffered through that. I am pointing out right now that man had to force that out. But anyway,
man,
we would like to we would like to send our best wishes to the fact that you still have to defend that thing.
Somehow, some way, you're gonna defend that title, Gronk.
So, but hey, Corey Graves made a really good point. If he wants to watch his back, I'm sure he knows a guy in New England that knows how to do video work. So
that is so true. Oh yes, yeah.
You can't walk away from that. I'm sorry, you can't.
And I think the fun part of it was there's some of the games are going to be on Fox. They could do something with that too, either before or after.
They made one of the college football analysis guys the 24/7.
Oh, I know.
They'll make something work here.
I mean, Gronk will lose his title some weird way,
I am waiting for R-Truth to pop up like a bunny out of the friggin' Tampa Bay end zone and just and just roll up Gronk after a spike,
or dress up like a pirate or something.
That would be amazing.
I want R-Truth to come to just go down to Tampa and just on game day be doing something. Quick question: does Tampa Bay have cheerleaders?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, they could dress up. Oh my!
You are giving R-Truth too much ammunition.
Oh man!
Pirate, dress up like a cheerleader, a bunny.
So,
too many things.
Hey, we got through a dozen. I think that's pretty good, especially with Phil being here. Phil, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you guys, man. This was truly amazing.
So
glad you can make it.
So happy to not only have you on the podcast, but happy to have you be a part of the team. Like I said, folks, Phil is not done just because he's on the podcast. You're gonna be seeing a lot from him coming up on our YouTube page. But as of today, thank you all so much. I think that's going to wrap it up here for us. Thank you all so much for listening. If you've made it this far, I'm going to say that almost every episode because if you're with us this far, God bless you.
Bless you very much.
All right, then I have to also let you know before we forget, we are published on Spotify. We are published on iTunes as long as just like on the podcast page and on the YouTube page. So there's many different ways to listen to us if you choose to, and we hope you do.
So on that note, thank you, Leroy. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Zach.
This was a blast.
Thanks, Phil.
I have a feeling Phil's going to be on here a lot more than just once in a while.
I would love to.
I hope we can get him on here again.
Very excited about all of this.
We'll have you on there. So for Zach and Leroy, and of course now Phil and all the other guys here at 13 Cards Subject to Change, we thank you all very much, and we will see you all next time. Thank you very much. Have a good day.